Welcome back to Gardening by the Sea. This is part 2 of the garden restoration project. I've added compost to the garden bed and worked it in well. Now I'm going to add several inches of seaweed. I'm not ready to plant yet, so I'm going to work in the rest of the garden. There was one herb that was already growing in the garden bed before I took on the restoration project. That was Melissa, or lemon balm. It seems happy there, so I'm just going to leave it. Here are some of the other garden beds that I'll be reviving in parts 4 and 5 and 6 of our garden restoration project. Well, we're into week 2 of the garden restoration project, and it's coming along slow but sure. You'll notice that underneath the foundation window there's sand. I'm going to do some brickwork there because I don't want any plants growing directly under the window. I'm also going to recycle as many materials as possible, such as the materials that I'll be using to lay brick in the garden, and the cardboard that I'll be using as a barrier to deter the growth of weeds under the brick. Since I don't want vegetation growing under the foundation windows, I've decided to install brick. I'm recycling some very old brick reclaimed from demolition. The area I've dug out is about 4 inches below grade. Then a weed barrier was put in place, and since I'm trying to use materials that are as least toxic as possible, and since I'm trying to recycle as much as possible, I've opted for cardboard. I've cut the cardboard in a semicircular shape, then I've placed approximately 2 inches of sand on top. Now I'll use a trowel to smooth the surface, and will measure with a spirit level to ensure uniformity. This is beautiful old reclaimed brick. Their edges are typically worn and irregular and have many variations in color. I'll lay these in a number of courses until I get the desired result. For many years I've practiced xeriscaping, which is the practice of landscaping and choosing plants in a way that minimizes the need for water use. Now I've decided to create a kitchen garden here, and admittedly some of the vegetables will require a fair amount of water. In order to meet the water demands of these plants, I'll of course rely on rainfall, but in times of drought and in between rainfall, I'll collect rainwater in a 45-gallon drum that I've situated here by the garden shed. Well, the sun is setting, and I'll see you tomorrow for a new day of gardening.